gangs, the Krays and the Richardsons.
Who was George Cornell? George Cornell, 30 November 1927, born George Myers, was an English criminal and member of the Richardsons, who were scrap metal dealers, the criminals from South London. Cornell was originally a member of the East End gang called the Whitey and later became involved with the Krays. However, he changed sides around 1964 and allied himself with the Richardsons, the rival of the Krays. He was known for being totally fearless and was physically strong and good with his fist. Well-fit, experienced fighter, he did his national service with Billy Wiltshire, the Kray twins' cousin. His first conviction came on 30 October 1944 for stealing chickens, and in May 1945 he was imprisoned for 3 years for garage breaking theft after stealing goods. In 1950 he received his first prison sentence for 15 months after being convicted at a Central Criminal Court for unlawful bounding and malicious damage. In 1952 he received fines for assault and willful damage, and then in 1953 was imprisoned again for shop breaking, stealing cigarettes and razor blades. He also assaulted 2 police officers and using insulted words and behavior, getting off with 40 shilling fine. George Cornell, as he always known, would go on a phase for more spells in prison. One for malicious wounding, when he's believed to slash a woman's face with a blade. His last spell in prison was 1963. He had with the twins in prison around before, but he was never close friends with them. Upon moving to South London, he joined up with the Kray twins' rivals, the Richardson gang, led by brothers Charlie Richardson and Eddie Richardson. Cornell knew all the traders in Mile End and the landlords all over the local public houses. He made his money setting up warehouses and buying goods on credit, then selling them cheap and following the business without paying his bills. Around 6 feet tall and with a white neck, Cornell would often dress smart, often seen wearing aquasculum suits and Burberry raincoats. He had been described as a sick, sadistic bastard that loved to inflict pain. To his enemies, he lied to once get 3 years in prison for slashing a woman's face. He was a heavy drinker and he was drunk. Everyone would stay well clear of him. Cornell was alleged to have been heavily involved in drug dealing, in Purple Hearts, taxis, uppers, downers and cannabis. He was also involved in distribution of pornography and may have been associated with Jimmy Herpes, who was responsible for the exposure of corrupt police officials in 1971, including Commander Ken Dury of the Flying Squad. Cornell was unstable, unpredictable, and nearly caused all-out war between the two gangs. Cornell, along with the Richardson gang, colleague and friend Frankie Fraser became an enforcer for the Richardsons, was primarily used by them for talks with the Krays. Meetings were there often held in pubs such as the Grave Maurice. Cornell left the East End in 1955 when he married wife Olive Hutt. On March 8, 1966, there was a bloody confrontation between the gang from South London and the Richardson gang at the Mrs. Smith's nightclub in Catford, South London. Richard Hart, a friend of Ronnie, was shot dead outside the back doors. The Richardson gang member Frankie Fraser was charged with this murder, but the charges were later dropped. There have been other stories of the feud between Ronnie and Cornell, including an incident at the Brown Bear public house in which Cornell knocked him unconscious, according to Lenny Hamilton. Another is a common story is that Cornell called Ronnie a fat poof, which was later denied by Kray, who stated in an interview in Broadmoor in 1989. This was not true. On March 9, 1966, Cornell and his friend L.B. Woods entered the Blind Beggar pub, ordered some light halides and sat upon stools next to the bar. At around 8:30 p.m., both men were approached by Ronnie Kray and a Kray associate. I and Barry, upon seeing him, Cornell smiled and said sardonically, "Well, just look who's here." As warning to the barmaid and a few others in the pub, Barry fired 2 shots into the ceiling, while Kray walked towards Cornell and took a 9mm Luger and calmly shot him once in the top of the forehead, above his red eye. The man turned and departed, waiting for a car on the street. Cornell slumped against the nearby barrier, the bullet apparently passing straight through him. He was taken to a nearby hospital, where he died around 3:30 a.m.